This is the 6th and final part of the Great Bay Temple, and in this video we're going to be finally collecting the last couple fairies.
I think we have like, what, 3 left maybe? 3
I think
or 4?
we only have 2.
2? Well, that's what I said, 2.
Yeah, and then and then obviously, as you would expect,
I hope it's 3 now.
Oh, I'll feel like an idiot if it's 3. For some reason, I'm thinking we saw 13 on the last.
Yeah, I wasn't really paying that much attention. I'm not gonna lie.
But and of course, we're gonna fight the boss. Duh. It's the last part of a video.
Yeah, no, we just threw that part out for no reason. It's really a boss that I don't think me or Red are really a big fan of.
Not really, and he's not necessarily that hard. It's just kind of a dull fight.
And we're not really sure what the name or the pronunciation is, but we're calling him Gyorg, I think.
Yeah,
because we think the G's silent, we think.
Yeah, and when you see the spelling,
and we could be completely wrong. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, if someone eventually...
It wouldn't be the first time we mispronounce the name of Zelda.
If someone tweets and says it's pronounced Gyorg, we'll be like, okay.
Yeah, we give up, you win.
We're not going to fight over
I really cannot remember the G silent. I just cannot.
Well, the problem is they never say their names. They spell them.
Yeah. Hey, you people, here's an idea. Have voice acting in Zelda.
Could you imagine what that would do for Zelda games?
I would love it. I would absolutely love a voice acting in a Zelda game. I think it needs to go there, to be honest with you.
I can't believe they've never added that, to be honest.
Well, like a lot of people think that Link doesn't talk. I'm not one of those people. I think, like you see Link talking to people in various dialogues.
Of course.
Like you can tell he's talking. So, and I think people think he doesn't. And no, you can't have all this courage and not talk. Are you kidding me?
You gotta speak up for yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, plus in Skyward Sword, you gotta think you answer dialogue questions. You answer questions.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I mean, like,
and there's been other games like where somebody asks him something and you can say that unless he's doing sign language,
which I don't see him doing it.
But whatever.
No, I agree. I would love to see what they do with the voice acting in Zelda. But
and I think actually right here, well, not right here, but I think our last fairy is right here to the right.
Yeah,
correct.
And he's kind of in a weird spot that if you don't look at it from the right angle, you could easily miss that fairy's in there.
Yeah, have you got? Oh yeah, that's right. You just got one in the bottom part. Okay,
yes.
So I think there was 2.
Yeah,
it's just one of those things. Like I guess you could actually have gone up a little bit higher too.
I eventually do.
I think you actually. I think you might have jumped off on purpose right there because you knew you had to go lower to get him.
I'm not sure if you could get it from higher. That's actually really.
Actually, I don't think you can because if you see like the legs there at the bottom,
they're so thick.
Yeah, they get thicker.
Yeah. Either way, that's finally the 15th fairy of this dungeon. And as we mentioned earlier in our videos, this fairy upgrade lets us get half damage on all attacks.
Defensive enhancement is what's called. Which is really the most beneficial thing I think in this game. It's basically in Ocarina of Time when you get the Golden Gauntlets at the end, you get the white outline around hearts. That's what this is. And this. If you're going to collect all 15 fairies in one dungeon, I would say probably this would be the most beneficial.
Yeah, and it's great, at least in this game, you get it before the last dungeon. Like, you know, in Ocarina of Time, you got it...
well, we got right for Ganon, basically. So it's right at the end of the game.
So to get it a little earlier in this one is definitely beneficial. It makes Stone Tower Temple a little bit easier.
And I never get the magic meter upgrades in any Zelda game I first play, so I'm just used to not having those. So those aren't important at all.
Yeah. And I'm honestly not sure what I'm kind of looking for. I've got
stacking up. Well, yeah, I don't know what you're doing.
So I've got full magic, full hearts.
I ask that sometimes when you're playing. I'm just like, I'm just gonna let them go with this, and you swim right to I don't know what you call that.
Spikes,
a
leg.
Yeah, leg.
No, I don't know why I was certain. Maybe I thought there was a 16th fairy for some stupid reason. I don't know.
You would think by that time you'd be done collecting fairies.
I know.
and looking for them. I would think, you were just stacking up on health, but maybe you didn't know you were full, I guess.
Hey, I like to be thorough. Maybe I wanted rupees, who knows. But it is kind of funny, like right here before the boss, we get the last crank that we turn, and that we've been doing all dungeon.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that. It's just kind of like a BS throw-in, I guess you could say,
I can see that argument too.
Yeah.
I just think it's nice to finally get, I guess, maybe, I don't know if the payoff's the right word.
Well, I guess... Is it possible to get to this room before you turn the other green switch? That's what I'm kind of wondering. Like, if you didn't have to turn the other green switch, and then you push that one right there, if the water sprout doesn't come up. So maybe it is kind of cool having it there at the end, because it could be like the first water temple where you get somewhere, a door with the key, and be like, crap.
I think it's a great, if that is the case, and I think that is, honestly, now that you mention it, that is a great way of the designers to kind of force you to go in the right order.
Yeah, go right order.
They kind of corridor you in a little bit. Like, hey, you got to this last room.
Yeah.
You can't go anywhere.
Those developers and their water dungeon sequences.
They're not friendly.
Death of me.
And here is the boss. His name is
Gyorg.
something.
Gyorg.
Yeah, he's a giant fish.
Yeah, ugly fish. If I go fishing, that's not a fish I want to catch.
No, I think he'd drag you off the boat.
Did you look at those teeth? God, ugh.
I think he gets me with him a little later, too. He's honestly not a difficult boss for the most part.
I struggle with him.
The general sequence is you get to where you can shoot him with your bow, and then when you shoot with your bow, you stun him, and you can jump in, put on your Zora mask.
Which Red's going to do right here. Okay, now put on your mask.
No.
Now put on your mask. Now put on your mask.
For some reason, I'm thinking I thought I missed him. And I don't know
didn't make
why.
a sound. Maybe you didn't hear the sound or something like that.
Yeah, so I
was kind of wondering what you were doing right there. Ooh. And then, well, I guess he kind of did jump right at you.
I will say, that was a pretty great first-person view of him jumping at me, though, when I'm still in my boat.
Yeah,
I thought that's why I did it.
Yeah. you wanted the visual picture that we're going to take later on from this dungeon.
Of those giant teeth coming right at me.
That's a great selfie opportunity right there.
Oh, we love our selfie opportunities. And your shock attack does do pretty good damage once you...
Now, is there any other way to kill him other than the shock attack?
Oh, I'm sure there is of some sort. But
yeah, because that's the one thing about Majora's Mask. It seems like there's like a lot of different ways to kill, not bosses necessarily, but enemies. Because I guess with a goat, the snowhead guy, you really have only one way of killing him.
Yeah. Although I will say, I mean, my first thought was, what happens if you run out of magic? How else are you going to kill him? But there's so many pots around here.
There's a lot in the water, too, I think.
Yeah, because your shield attack uses magic, just like most of the masked special attacks use magic.
We've talked about this in many of our videos. That, there's always a lot of, items that you need, always in the boss rooms, which is definitely really nice. And a lot of them are usually hearts, but if you need magic, there's magic, arrows, obviously.
They look out for you.
Yeah.
They do look out for you.
You don't want to make it to a boss room and then run out something and have to leave the boss room mid-fight.
Yeah, thanks to Dongos from original Legend of Zelda when you run out of bombs. They're not really a boss, but you get what I'm saying.
I'm not even happy that you brought that up. They are a boss in the second dungeon.
Oh, that's right, you're right, they are.
No, because that happened to me a couple of times. Dude, you brought a sore spot right there, man. Because that did happen to me a couple of times.
You're totally out of whack now. I'm sorry.
All right, man. We got about 3 minutes left of this video. Red, you got it all.
I got it covered. Watch me.
I'm gonna go over and play Legend of Zelda and kill the Dongos.
Watch me take out this boss in the meantime. Actually, he does get me a couple times here. This is the second time I believe he sucked me in.
Or no,
I'm sorry. That's right.
Those are actually magic jars, like the green jars. I think those might fill up your magic all the way, don't they?
I think so.
Because the big green ones just fill up like a quarter, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe. So I think those green jars give you the whole way up.
I think you're right, because in Snowhead, like we mentioned in the goat fight, you run over those and it keeps you full.
Yeah.
So I think you're right on that. Man, this guy. I've said this wasn't a hard fight, but I've kind of struggled.
He's just the whole thing. When he hits you,
time he got me.
When he hits you and he knocks you, I don't know if I'm paying attention, but this seemed like a couple times I am paying attention because I'm talking about the video. Yeah. But it seems like sometimes he can hit you forward or backwards actually.
Yeah.
You don't really sure your face. Yeah. So I mean, sometimes you be in the middle or close to the middle and bounce the wrong way. Or, I don't know.
And I think what you saw me do when that swarm of smaller fish got me, I shocked him or used my shield attack to kill him, and they all drop hearts, which is fantastic. And I dived back in.
There's Link for about 5 seconds, getting nailed by him.
Yeah, and
I saw that.
And I dived back in to try to get those hearts, and in the process got sucked in by the stupid fish again. So I feel like I did a lot of self-inflicted damage in this boss fight.
Well, you were getting low on hearts though.
Yeah.
Like we always tell our viewers, we always try to avoid the beeping hearts.
Yeah.
Because it's just annoying.
It is. No one wants to hear that.
I think I'm trying to ignore you. No. Annoying.
Yeah. So man,
I hear both those words, so I get them confused.
Man, there I was talking about how this wasn't that hard of a fight. Man, he takes me a little while.
Like I said, I had a hard time because I went back and fought this because there's some stuff I was going to do after Great Bay.
Oh yeah, that's
right.
I
had to beat the boss for, and I struggled against him too.
And I think at this point though, after playing through the whole dungeon, I finally kind of had Zora swimming down. It took me this long. It took me an hour and a half or however long this dungeon took to get.
Sometimes in one of these long dungeons like this, you just struggle on the boss more just because you're exhausted, kind of in a way, you know.
Well, it's funny. I remember, I think getting to the end of this dungeon, getting to the end of Ocarina of Time's Water Temple, you're so relieved to be at the boss fight.
Yeah, well, the Water Temple though was a joke of a boss.
Yeah,
Morpha.
But either way, you get to that boss and you're just so happy to be done with the dungeon's puzzles.
And
getting lost and going the wrong way and redoing the sequence. When you finally get to that boss fight, you're like, thank God. And then you have a boss fight.
But you can't take a breather or anything because then you gotta go backtrack, all the way through this dungeon, stuff like later on in the game after you beat them, you can warp straight to the boss.
Thankfully.
You can't do that. Obviously when you're going right through the dungeon the first time.
Yeah, but
it'd be awesome if you could though.
I will say though, we've mentioned before how you get to the end of these tough dungeons, there's kind of a disappointing boss at the end. This boss wasn't really disappointing.
Yeah, no, he wasn't at all. But we'll be taking Gyorg's remains right here, and that'll wrap up the Great Bay Temple.